people, it's still me, ERD Stitches. I'm back again for our tutorial. So I'm so happy, and also I really want to thank you guys for your support. For you people are the reason why I'm here, and my returning subscribers, I want to say a very big thank you. I so much love you people, and those that are stopping by for the first time, please subscribe to my channel to support me. I'm begging you, it means a lot to me. And also don't forget to click on the notification bell so that if I upload a new video, you will be notified about it. And also, if you have any question or anything to drop, any idea, please you use the comment box. So now today's tutorial is going to be, like I said earlier, it's going to be on our princess that Bustier. So today I'm going to teach you guys on the tricks and the tips that you need to apply for you to get a perfect princess that Bustier that will fit you perfectly. So now let's go to our working table. So this is the pattern paper I'm going to use for this tutorial. I've already ruled out my horizontal lines, but what I did here is from my shoulder I got my bust point line of 10.5 inches, then my under bust of 14.5 inches, then my half length 17.5 inches, then I added 1 inch for my joining allowance. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to input my shoulder measurement. So the shoulder measurement I'm using is 8, and I hope you are seeing it, is 8.5 inches. This is my 8.5 inches, so I have to mark it. Then I'm going to add 2 inches more for it. Why? The reason why I add these 2 inches is so that our princess seam line will complete, so that we'll not be having shortage at the armpit side when we are sewing. So now from this my shoulder line here, I'm going down by 5 inches. I will also do same on this my 2 inches allowance here, 5 inches. So I'm going to connect the lines, the 5 inches. I will tell you the reason why we came down by 5 inches. That's why I said I'm going to teach you the tricks on how to draft it and it come out perfectly. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to input my bust span measurement. So the bust span measurement I'm using is 9.5 inches. So when I add half into it, it will give me 5. So I'm going to input 5 here. Under bust line, I will input 4.5 inches. This is the point, 4.5 inches. Then at my waistline, I will input 4.5 inches. So I will connect it. Watch me. I'll first connect from my under bust to my shoulder line. This is my shoulder line, armhole line. So I will connect it this way. Then I will connect from my bust to my bust point line. Then from there I will go down to my waistline. This is it. So now I'm going to take my dart intake, but before I do that, I have to input my body measurement. So the body measurement I'm working with, my bust is 42 inches. So 42 inches divided by 4 will give me 10.5 inches. So this is my 10.5 inches point here. My under bust measurement is 39 inches. So it will give me 9 3/4 inch. So I'm going to input my 9 3/4 inch here. My waist measurement is 40 inches. So I will input what I have at my under bust line here, also on my waistline. So on my waistline, I will input my 9 3/4 of an inch here. So I'm going to connect it from the bust to the waistline straight. So this is now my body measurement. So now I'm going to take my dart intake. So the dart intake I'm taking here is 2.5 inches on my under bust line. So I'm going to mark my 2.5 inches here, and also on my waistline. Whatever that intake you take on your under bust line is what you take on your waistline, 2.5 inches. So I'm going to connect it with a straight line this way. So you remember what I have here now is 2.5 inches. I'm going to get the mid of this 2.5 inches, which will be 1.25 inch. So I'm going to share it 1.25 inch. Then I will connect it this way. So we are now having 1, 2, 3 lines here. So at this my middle line now, the mid of my 2.5 inches, I will go up by 1 inch. So I'll connect it. This is what I have here now. So on this my bust point line, I will go up on this my princess seam line. I will go up on it by 1 each, also 1 inch. This is the point. Take note of this point. So now I'm going to connect to curve my bust, my princess dart, to get my curve. So watch what I will do. So first I will put my curve ruler from this point above my under bust point to this my 1 inch that I came up on my dart line. So I'll make sure that the two of them are together. Then I will connect it. You see what I'm doing? I'm making sure that the two of them are connected. Then I will curve it. This is my cup now. So from this point now, I will curve to meet this one also. So I'll also put it this way. And curve it. You see what I have now? So I have to blend it very well. So this is it. Now, okay, now I'm going to mark my chest line, and my chest line is, how do I get my chest line? My chest line is the round bust circumference divided by 6 plus 1.5. So mine is 8.5. So I'll get my 8.5 point, which is here. Then I will connect it with my long ruler, mark it as a straight line. So now that I've done this, I'm going to connect this line now to this my chest line with a straight line. I'm connecting it this way to my chest line. See what I have there now. So now the next thing that I'm going to do now is I'm going to input my allowances. So on this my bust line, when I cut this open, I need 1/2 inch on both sides to sew. That is 1 inch. Then I'll input 2 inches allowance. You can make it 1.5 inches depending on what you use to sew. So now that means I'm going to input 3 inches on my bust line. So on my under bust line, remember I took 2.5 inches here for my dart intake. So I'm going to return it. That's 2.5 inches plus 1/2 inch on both sides to sew. That is 3.5 inches. Then plus my 2 inches sewing allowance, that will be 5.5 inches. So I'm going to input 5.5 inches here. So on my waistline, I will return the 2.5 inches I'm removing here, plus 1 inch to sew on both sides, which is 3.5 inches, plus my 2 inches sewing, and that is also 5.5 inches. So I'm going to input my 5.5 inches here. So on this my chest line, what I have on my bust front line is what I'm going to input on my chest line. So when I measure is what I have here is about 13.5 inches. So I'm going to also input the 13.5 inches here. So now I'm going to connect the points together this way. This is how I'm going to connect it from my chest line to my waistline. So now I'm going to shape my armhole. So my armhole now I have to also connect this so that it will correspond. So this is what I have now. So you can choose to connect your armhole from here to here, or you choose to connect from here to here, whichever way it will work. But I'll connect to my seam allowance. So I'll just put my curve ruler this way and connect to my seam allowance. That's my armhole. Look at my cup, very beautiful. So here is sharp, and all the sharp points I have to blend it now. So I'll put my cup. You can, if you don't have curve ruler, you can use your free hand to achieve it. So I've blended this. So now we're going to input our neckline. So the neck width I'm using for this tutorial, I'm using let me use 4.5 inches for the neck width. Then the depth, I will use let me use 5.5 inches for the neck depth. So I have to connect it together this way. Then I'll connect this way. Then I will now curve out my neckline. So I'm curving this way. That's my neckline. If you are using a V-neck, you also curve this way. So now we are done with this one. So here we are cutting out this place. This place will be cut out. Here will be cut out. These 2 inches we added here is for the extension of this our seam line. So we are also going to cut out this place. We are cutting out this place. These are what we are cutting out. Remember, this is our allowances that we added. So I'm cutting it out now. So I'm cutting from here this way. This is a cardboard paper, so it's somehow thick. So I will also cut out my armhole. That's it. So I'm going to cut out my side pattern. Like I said, I'm taking my time because this is a cardboard paper. This is for the side. Then I'm going to cut out my center front. So I told you that this place is going out, so I'll cut this way. I'm not going to, before I cut, so I forgot, I didn't input our shoulder slope. So we're going to input our shoulder slope. Now we're going to slope our shoulder with 1 inch. Then we'll connect it to the neck width. So that's it. So now I'm going to cut this way. Then I'll cut out my shoulders lobe. I'm not cutting the neckline now because I'm using this center front to cut my back. So this is what I have for the front now. I'm going to use this to cut my back. So you have watched to this extent and you have not subscribed to my channel, please help me. I'm pleading. Help me to subscribe to my channel to support me, and don't forget to put on the notification bell so that you'll be notified whenever I upload a new video. Okay, let's continue with our tutorial. Okay, now for the back, I'm going to put this my center front on this pattern, and then I will trace it out. This is for my back. I put it on this, then I will trace what I have here out. So I'm starting from here. So now that I'm done tracing it out, I will lift this one up. Now I'm going to input my horizontal measurement. So what I need for this back is only my chest line of 8.5 inches, and also my half length. So I already have this thing for my half length here. So I have to turn this to a straight line there. Okay, now on this my 5 inches, remember when we were drafting the front, we came down by 5 inches. So on this my 5 inches now, I'm going to take half an inch outward this way. I'm taking half an inch. Then I will connect this my half an inch to this my chest line. So this is what I have now. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to input my body measurement. On this my chest line, I'll input my bust measurement. So the bust measurement I'm working with is 42 divided by 4 is 10.5 inches. So this is my 10.5 inches plus half inch to join this on both sides. That's 1 inch plus my 2 inches allowance. That's 3 inches. So I'll input 3 inches here. So for the waist I'm working with is 39 inches. That is 9 3/4 of an inch plus 3 inches. This is my 9 3/4. Then I'll also input 3 inches. I believe you know how we got the 3 inches. Half inch on both sides to join, then plus 2 inches seam allowance. So I'm going to connect the points together now. So I'll connect this way first. Then I'll connect this way. Then the next line is to curve our armhole. So you can decide to cut to this place or you curve it to this side. So for me, you can decide to curve it to meet from this point here to this point like this, whichever way it will go, or you choose to curve it to meet this other point here, this way. So whichever way it will go, but I will go with this. So now that I'm done with this, the next thing now is to cut out our back. We are done with the back, so easy. The neck depth, the neckline, you choose the neckline of your choice. I'm not choosing any neckline for this. You just choose the neckline of your choice for the neckline for the back. So I want to connect these 2 points together. Our body measurement, that's this for reference purpose, and this is our seam allowance. So now I'm going to cut it out. So I'll start from here. This way. Then I'll cut out this. There's something I forgot to mention here. If you look at this, my back pattern, I didn't leave space for my zipper allowance. Please, whenever you are drafting your back pattern, remember to always leave your 2 inches or 1.5 inches for seam zipper allowance. When I want to use this fabric to cut on my line, when I want to use this pattern now, excuse me, to cut on my fabrics, I must input my zipper allowance. Please don't make that mistake. Then our armhole. Now cut through here. Our dart. This is our dart. Side back. Then you can decide to add 1/2 inch for your joining allowance, or you add it when you're cutting your fabrics. So I'm going to add when I'm cutting my fabrics. That's the only allowance I'm going to add on this pattern. I'll add 1/2 inch for joining allowance at the shoulder, and that's all, because every other allowance I've added it. So this is it for the back now. This is what we have for the back. This is okay. Now we are going to work on the zipper allowance. So I forgot to mention earlier that I folded my zipper allowance inside. Before you draft your back pattern, please always mark your zipper allowance first, then you start your distance. So now this is my zipper allowance. All my measurements started from this point. So you know, sometimes when we finish drafting our gown or blouse, finish sewing, we always see the back popping up. So there are about 2 ways to eliminate that. So first, the first way to eliminate it is, one, you can, and this your 1/2 length, you can go up by 1 inch or 1.5 inches. So I'm choosing 1.5 inches for this pattern. So, and you are going to mark it on your zipper also, 1.5 inches on your zipper. Then what you will do now is, in fact, yes, I'm supposed to do this before I cut this thing open, my seam line open, but I'll still get it. So you put your ruler on this 1.5 inches point and connect it to your 1/2 length here. This place, you should not shorten your 1/2 length on this your side pattern. So just put it here and rule a line like this to meet your You see what I did? I hope you are seeing it. You see what I did? So now I'm going to cut this out. I'm going to cut it out. That is one way to achieve it. Another way to achieve it is on this your zipper, you can come in by 1 inch or 3/4 of an inch. I'm taking 3/4 of an inch here. Then you also go in here by 3/4 on your main measurement, body measurement. You take 3/4 of an inch. If you're plus size, if you're not that big, you can take 1/2 inch. You can use 1/2 inch. Then you are now going to connect it all the way like this one now. Connect it all the way to your about 1 inch above your chest line. You can connect it this way. Then this one here also, you connect it 1 inch above your chest line here at this point. So what it means now is by the time you trim this out, your back zipper allowance will be curvy. It will not be straight again. So you have to trim these ones now out. This side now will be cut out. So whichever way you are choosing, or you are choosing this, whichever way will give you what you want. You see it? So if you are choosing this, you have to cut out this. So your new zipper allowance will be this side now. From this point to this point will be your new zipper allowance. Then if you are choosing this slant here, your zipper allowance still remains the same. Then you cut out this. I hope this is helpful. So I will try to make available this the sewing tutorial of this pattern that I just cut now. I'm going to use it to cut on fabrics, and I will also make a video of the sewing of the gown. I'm actually going to use it to make a gown with front slit. So I will sew it and also upload it on my channel. So maybe just be watching on my channel, checking my channel, you will see the sewing tutorial of this particular pattern, so that you see how the cup come out. So this brings us to the end of this tutorial. If this tutorial has been helpful, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, like, comment, share and subscribe. Thank you for staying till the end of this tutorial.